Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to our channel, and we're actually very happy to have you here. As you already know, Sister is that show that helps you ease yourself when it comes to your relationship problems, because you can actually send your letters to us, and then we will get to talk about your letter and find a solution for you. So do well and continue enjoying the show. But before we start, remember to subscribe to this channel and share it to your friends and your loved ones, and let them subscribe too. Okay, we're going straight into the show, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll be right back. Now it's time for me to introduce my sisters. They are no strangers, but they could be strangers to you, especially if you're watching for the first time. So my beautiful Rosie, the lady in the middle. Hi, Rosie.
Hi, Chris.
How are you?
I'm fantastic, fabulous. I'm just feeling like
a lot of va-va-voom.
Yeah.
That means
I love the weather.
And the week has been good.
Yes, very good.
Okay. Very good. Pay week. And Felicia, hi Felicia, how are you?
I'm well. How are you too?
I'm fine. I'm actually very happy to see you, more brilliant, because the last time I called you, you were feeling under the weather.
But I feel much better today.
Yeah. And we thank God for that.
Oh yeah.
And you're like sunshine today on the show.
I'm loving this thank you auntie dress.
All right. Thank you, Auntie Dress. That's a new one. That's my first time hearing it. But yeah, I like your thank you, Auntie Dress. All right, so we're going to get into the show. But before we get into the show, remember that you can actually join this conversation. You can actually join the conversation via Twitter, and you have to just use the hashtag sister. And also you can also send your WhatsApp messages to 022034 7033 022034 7033. So sisters, are you ready? We have 2 letters for the day.
Wow.
Yes, 2. And we have 2 sisters that are going to help me. All right, so I'm about to jump into my letter, and I realize that we have not introduced the special gentleman, the man that makes everything refreshed on this set. Hi, Bruce.
Hi.
We missed you the last time.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
I missed you guys too.
Oh.
Yes,
and you made us thirsty. You made
I'm
us
in the lab
thirsty.
today. I'm in the lab.
All right. So what are you cooking up in the lab?
Well, today you guys will be having a brave bull.
Brave bull.
Yes.
Wow.
We have another man in the mess.
You see.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure we would need it, because the stories here, they are always, well, it describes it already. So, okay, let's get there. Hello, sisters. I'm in a real fix, and I need your advice with a really delicate issue. After secondary school, I found myself without any help and support, and had to take the additional responsibility of taking care of my siblings. As an orphan, I finally decided to attempt the world oldest profession and joined a couple of ladies to the club dressed to invite. Much to my surprise, I was approached by a lady who asked that she and her husband wanted me as a third party in their sexual escapades. Desperate for financial breakthrough, I reluctantly agreed, and we signed a contract. One critical condition was to not engage her husband without her explicit knowledge or permission. This works well, as I took myself to nursing school and took care of my siblings. All was rosy until the man began to fall in love with me. The wife was not comfortable and asked that the contract be cancelled. Be it that I was not in love with this man, I walked away quietly. Fast forward, things became hard again, and I hadn't finished nursing school yet. One evening, he showed up at my doorstep, professing love to me, stating that his marriage was as good as it ended. I asked that if that's the case, he should end it properly, and come get me. He's done with it, and we are currently married. My problem is, I have never loved him, and I still don't love him, but I love the care he gives me and my family. Can I continue to live like this? Sisters, I need your advice. And this is by Anonymous. Rosie, you're in deep thoughts. I want to know why you're in deep thoughts.
Because the story is very...
Okay.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. I will need this.
Yeah.
The intervention was just in time.
The drink came at the right time. Thank you, Bruce. Right.
The
Just
story
ladies.
is like one in many parts. It's like, oh, Bruce, this is nice. Thank you. So the story is like one in many parts, and I can't break it up enough. The fact that you're married, and then they wanted a third party in the relationship. And my question is, well, the lady wasn't the one who sent in the message, but the question is, who even picked the woman to begin with?
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes when things like this happen, one couple sort of pick the woman. It's a reason why he picked that particular lady. Be it random. It's random, all right, but it's probably a reason why he picked that particular lady. Which means that most likely from the word go, on sight, the gentleman has spotted her and probably wanted to be with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually not surprised the turn of events.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a woman who selected the woman, then that's it. But the reality of I don't know how to really, how do you say, break down the story, because it's heartbreaking. The woman sent us the message, and she was desperate. She needed money. She needed financial support to help her and her family. She stated that she's an orphan, so pretty much she felt there's nothing, you know. But the thing is, my only sad part is that she actually gave the man permission to go and divorce his wife and come and marry her.
Yeah.
And from
so
where
she's
I sit,
so basically she's an accomplice to
exactly
breaking a home.
breaking a home, yes. And from where I sit, you see, marriage is a very difficult encounter. So once people get married, for some strange reason, a lot of things, you only see the negative things. Yeah. Oh, she's talking too much. Oh, she's being too demanding. Oh, she's doing this. Or he's doing that. Or he's doing this, he's doing that. So over time, it gets very difficult to enjoy it. You think it's easier to enjoy the third party because this lady came in on a contract. So because she came on a contract with money as a goal,
Yes.
for instance, I work 8 to 9 hours a day and I get paid for it.
Yeah. That's your job.
That's my job. And I keep going each day because, one, it's my job. I want to find out you love what you do. It's your job and you get paid for it. I'm thinking, would I be able to follow my husband 9 hours a day?
No.
Consistently, and have only 20 days or 27 days break from... It will be a very difficult thing to do. So she was doing a job and she did it well because she needed the money. So the man fell in love with her because there was really no responsibility when the girl came. There was no responsibility. All the girl presented was fun.
Yes.
Sex,
yes.
fun,
Yeah.
enjoyment, whatever. Like, she wouldn't complain how he looked, how I mean, she had no complaints.
Yes.
Because the man was sorting her out with money. So she never really fell in love. And I think that for her, where she went wrong was she should have just stuck to the fact that it was a contract.
It's a contract. The job is done. Okay.
Because it's difficult as a woman. If you can't stand a man you're with, you are not really in love with the person. You don't like the person to an extent. In the beginning, it will be okay because you think you're getting money, you're getting all the works, everything. But I think eventually you would suffocate. You would suffocate in a manner that people, you can't even afford to tell people why you're suffocating, because everybody looks at you and they feel like, oh, I wish I'll be like her. This man takes good care of her, takes good care of her siblings and everything. But you will not be happy. You will not be happy. So my take is that, well, the harm has already been done. I don't know if you have children or not, but if you don't, Charlie, if it's the money that means a lot to you, my advice to her is that, look, start putting money aside. Start building some financial stability.
Because I'm
and then when you're
wondering
ready,
right
get
now,
out.
yes, like talking about financial stability, the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, you are married right now. So how long did it take you before you got married? And you are enjoying the money of him taking care of you and taking care of your family. So what have you been doing?
Yeah, she should keep something. She should save something for herself.
Well, what have you been doing?
Well, she's in nursing school, so maybe she's thinking that I'm going to nursing school. But the thing is, someone is supposed to go to nursing school. The person is also giving you money to be able to take care of your siblings and all that. I think that she needs to be financially prudent to be able to do some savings on the side. Now, if she was doing that before, I don't think that when the contract was abrogated, I don't think that she would have gone back into a state of she didn't have money again to take care of herself and her siblings. But because I think I'm sorry you sent in the message, but I think she's not thinking ahead. She's thinking in the now, just like between now and next week. But if she's thinking ahead, she will hedge herself properly. Save something, get some investment done, get something that can self-pay, especially now that she's gone and come back once, and the man has now married, he's doing everything. This is the time to plan your exit properly and leave, because it's not easy living with somebody that you really honestly do not like.
Okay, so Felicia, let me ask you, do you think it's a case of the fake humility that comes with poverty?
So here's the thing, and I'm confused.
I'm not saying every poor person
is humble.
It's humble.
It's not humble, but sometimes there's this fake humility that comes with being poor. Just because I don't have now, it's when you actually put the power in them, or you give them some money, then their real power comes out. So do you think it's that case where, okay, maybe there's this fake humility, so she has to still play along and be that cat for him?
So I think it has to be with, I don't know if it's right for me to say a Ghanaian character, where we struggle to differentiate financial, like relationships for financial gain to like relationship for emotional connection. And this has to do with both men and women. Sorry, excuse me. So if you are with a man because of his money, what stops you from making your intentions clear?
Yes.
Somewhere, some place, people do this sugar babe, sugar daddy thing. They go in for just the money. It's clear. Oga, you like my body. Fair enough, you can have it. But I'm also here for the money.
Take care of me.
To take care of me. It's a contract. You give me, you take, done deal, we move on. Why would you encourage a relationship that will lead to marriage, even to the extent that this man leaves his wife and gets married to you?
Yes.
And now you complain that I don't love this man.
You must love
Who
him.
stopped you? Yes.
You must though.
You must love
You
him.
must love
You
him.
must love him.
You must love him. You have to find ways and means to love him. Because you deceived him.
True.
You led him on. You knew exactly what you wanted from the relationship, but you weren't clear with it. Now you've gotten what you need, and you think it's okay to let him go.
And she still can't say it. That's the thing.
And you still can't say it. That means there's a problem with you. This is a problem you need help for. It could be psychological. It could even be spiritual. Because I really don't get it. Because if it's the money, like Rosie clearly said, you should have positioned
something.
yourself into, like, gotten yourself into a phase where you save money to get yourself out of that situation. Because if you listen to her delivery from the beginning, she acknowledged her struggle, how she was even struggling, trying to, make ends meet. So she found herself in a place of forcefully having to go into prostitution. That is an indication that is not a situation you wanted to find yourself. But let's say situations, things happen. But you've gotten there, you've enjoyed stuff. You've even gotten into some people's marriage.
Yes.
That alone was a clear no, but who am I to judge? You've managed to get out of there by whatever intervention. This man comes to you and you know what you want, but you pretended, you acted that it was okay, you urged him on, you got married to him, and now it's okay to let go. No way. My dear, you need to find a way to love this man. Yeah, because it's a thing that women sometimes, I'm sorry, I know people will bash me for this, but we like to always be in the, how do you call it? Yes, we're always in the victim position, 10 tables around. This is the same thing men do. A man will see a woman, he knows clearly he doesn't love this woman. Because of something down there that he wants to, dig. Some gold he's looking to dig. He will pretend love.
Yeah.
Even to the extent of they will get married to these women, knowing true in their hearts that I'm not taking this woman anywhere.
Yeah.
Then after a while, you come up with stories to say, and I don't love. For better, for worse. This is when I need my Christian brothers and sisters to back me. And if it's marriage, I'm 100% sure that they've signed whatever, they've been to court. This one, for better, for worse, she will get stuck to it forever. My dear, I know you came to us and you are hoping to hear something good from us. Please, find a way to love this man. We've gone out the days, they were arranged marriages, but it still worked. We have some parents who had arranged marriages and they are still living. You've spent this man's money. It's not fair for you to let him go right now. Find something nice about him that you love and start getting acquainted to. If it's his hair, wake up every morning and remain, oh, look at, oh, God, your hair is nice. So, like affirmation, daily affirmation. Affirm yourself and find a place deep in your heart to love this man, because it's going to be for better, for worse, till he also decides not to be in this relationship again. Because I feel it's just not fair. You can't wake up and feel like I don't love, when you've dragged him all to this end. He's left his wife for you. I'm sure he's bought you stuff by now, set you up. And like you said, humility. Now, money has come. Yeah. Taste has changed. Fine, but Bobby is somewhere. Yeah. But, Oga,
no, but
start daily affirmation.
But I think that, you see, sometimes when women like this talk like this, it's fear. Fear because they saw a perfect relationship.
Yes, and they wanted to be like,
as a third party, and this relationship has metamorphosed into the man liking her instead, and now married to her. I'm sure at the back of her mind, she's wondering, when is it going to be my turn? So she's not even going to allow herself, because like she said, typically when you have most women, I'm saying all, but most women, when they're with a man and the man checks the right boxes, is doing everything, there's this deep-seated part of us that begins to justify why they should love the person.
Yes.
And then it sort of like, conditions your heart and turns your heart to love the person. You understand? So you see in relationships where when the boy was chasing the girl said, me, I can't date this guy, see his nose, see his mouth, see how he does this, see how he does that. Then a few months into the courtship and the relationship, suddenly his big nose is the center of attraction for you.
Oh, I love it.
I love his nose. Hey, so when I'm sleeping by him and he's breathing down my neck, oh my God, that's pure oxygen coming my way.
If you're like AC,
it's more like air condition. The way his lips are, oh my God, when he grabs my lips and things. So I think
even if it's biting.
But I think that underneath all that, I think she's afraid. One day,
I still feel like there's a child in her.
And she's afraid that one day this man is also going to proposition to her
that they should
get a third party, or may also get bored with her and also get a third party separately, maybe that she may not even know about. And then one day the man is going to get up and tell her that I'm no more in love with you. So I think that, of course, for a man to take care of you like that and stand with you and want to be with you, and she still and why
doesn't love this man.
No, but
it was all about, you see, look at this sugar babe thing. Like you were saying, rightly saying, people see men with maybe certain things, features they don't really admire, but they overlook it because of what they are getting.
That's why I'm saying that she can't overlook this one because
now she lives with him.
Of entry.
Yes.
So for instance, if I met a man, stand alone, the man was toasting me, let's assume the man even had some girl, maybe long distance relationship, it wasn't working, whatever it is. And the man was toasting me, I was doing well, and we fell in love, or I got to like him naturally. I won't be thinking that, oh my God, I can't love this person. Yeah. But her mode of entry, she entered as a third party in a marriage.
Okay, now you know what?
It's insecurity. This man was married, entertained me. Now me and him are married. When is he going to entertain a third party?
Right.
So she's hedging her heart against future heartbreaks.
Okay, now let's look at it at this angle. From the angle of, couples that have threesomes. I feel like all the stories I have heard, real life stories that I've heard, always went south. But it works with the, white people. Yeah. But in Africa, it always kind of goes south. And I feel like, don't you think there's an issue of communication? We don't even know who we're getting married to in the beginning. sometimes we want to please the man. And deep down, I know that, okay, I'm not comfortable with this. And then you do it, and it becomes something else.
I feel it's our cultural upbringing. So, you know, the world is revolving. Yeah. We are getting to a stage where Africans we sometimes feel like we are open-minded, but we are somehow not open-minded enough. Do you understand? So we are ready to accept certain things to an extent, but when it starts, when we start having, when it hits or when we start facing the consequences, then our traditional upbringing, our cultural upbringing kicks in automatically, because that's how we've been programmed. So people will even say, "Oh, I like open relationships." They go in 1, 2, 3. Immediately, maybe there's a critique here. Something goes out. Then they start thinking about what happened to their mother B, their father, how their auntie B has a broken home, blah 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 blah. When they go for family gathering, you know, white people and stuff are not that family oriented like us. So we our own selves are hypocrites.
Yes, yes.
We are Christians, but we also claim we are open-minded. And we struggle to even find the balance. Where is morality? Where is religion? Where is spirituality? We can't even...
And where is tradition?
Tradition.
So basically we want to do everything.
We want to do everything. But then, so here's, let me give you a typical picture. So when it's okay for them, because they are home, nobody is there watching them, they can have threesome. These are the same people going to church, praying. Then there's some small issue be at work. You know, Africans like to become very spiritual when we have problems. So there's small issue be at work. Now you have to go to church and start becoming spiritual. Yeah. Then they'll be going to church. And as the preaching hits them, then they start rethinking the openness that they've been enjoying when money was okay. Yeah. So we can't clearly take our stance. Are you Christian? Are you a traditionalist? Are you open-minded? If a white person is open-minded, they are atheists. That is who they are.
No, it is not only atheists who are open-minded.
Oh, let me say they are atheists. Let me say, yes. let me so differentiate.
I know there are a few people that works for, even in Ghana. But you see, it's the mode of engagement, why you get into it. Yeah. When you're in a marriage where the man respects the woman, and it goes both ways. In Africa, the biggest problem is that African men think that they are the only ones who deserve respect.
Yes.
And they are the ones who need to be made comfortable in the mind for it to work.
And they're the only ones that deserve to come.
It's a woman's job to make sure the relationship works. Yeah. It's a woman's job to make sure the marriage works. So you realize that a lot of African women live to make sure
he's laughing at me, but it's true. In most African homes,
it's the woman. So
even sexually, it's always like the man that's supposed to be satisfied.
Yes.
He has to come.
He has to be satisfied. You know? He has to be. Yes. Yeah. So it's like, you know, because the woman's duty is to make sure the man is okay. So now, if the man wants an open relationship, she feels the emotional edge to give the husband that open relationship for the stability of the home. How many African homes do you see that the open relationship is being practiced by the woman?
Well, I think that's a question we have to answer another day.
Yeah, so the thing is that because the woman is not open to an open relationship, everything is one-sided. It's towards the man. So which means that a lot of people in said open relationships are not really up for it. Yeah. They are just doing it as a means of maintaining the guy. Because listen, if you don't give it to him, he's going to chase other people anyway. So sometimes you feel like, okay, you know what? Let me give it to him so at least I'm in control of who he is with.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you realize that it's actually purely the man's decision. And if the man was true to himself and knew that this was a sacrifice my wife was making for me in order for me to enjoy the variety and spice of life, he wouldn't have allowed himself to fall in love to begin with.
Well, he has fallen in love with someone that doesn't love him. On that note, it's time for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be delving into our second letter of the day. We'll be back. For more on Sister on YouTube, all you need to do is subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, and also do not forget to turn on your notifications and share and like and comment to support us, okay? We'll be right here for you. All right, so we have actually looked at the first story. Threesome got wrong. I don't love him anymore, but I got him through a threesome. What should I do? And we talked about it. But we have another story. And remember, you can actually join the conversation via our WhatsApp number 0220-344-7033. 0220-344-7033. Or go on Twitter and use the hashtag #SisterSystem. And you can leave your comments out there. Okay, so we have a second letter here, and I am going to be reading it. Sisters, are you ready?
Yep.
Whew. Wow, it's actually very short. All right. It says, "Dear sisters, I got married last December. We didn't date for long before getting married. Some few days ago, I found my husband in our matrimonial bed with another lady. He tried to talk to me, but I left them without saying a word. Please advise me on how to handle this issue. Luckily, I'm not pregnant. I'm just confused. Talk to me, sisters." Bring it on, sisters. Talk to me.
The first was mine, so this is yours.
Yes. Felicia, let's start with you.
Hey. I don't even know what to say. What is happening in this marriage, space in this country? Now, I'm curious to know why people get married.
Sharp.
Is it for Instagram pictures? Is it for social status? Is it for financial gains? Is it for promotion at work? So that maybe I can also start looking into it, because I don't get it. Why? How long did it take for him to get another woman there?
They got married last December, and
So
then
6 months,
and this just happened this month.
So why?
Yes, India. Thank you for putting that out there.
So what is it with the new woman? Anyway, my dear, I'm glad that you didn't see anything. I know my methods are always radical. Hey, if this thing happened to me, I'll live in the same house with this man, and I will deal with him emotionally. Emotional torture. I'll pretend like everything he did was okay. Oh, it's fine. Oh, okay, it's fine. I understand you, Abby. It's okay. Once in a while, you need to release it. And I'll make you feel and suspect that I'm also doing something outside, and bring up this conversation for us to have. That is when I'll tell you everything on my heart and leave you. If I'm in her shoes, I'll wake up the next day, prepare breakfast for him as a good wife.
You eat.
I will eat some, but he will eat the breakfast.
Oh no, that would be scary. That would be scary.
That is what I'm up to. I want to scare him. He will be living in the house and be sweating. I'll make nice breakfast for him. Oh baby, are you okay? When he's going to work, I will wash his car. And you wonder, what did this woman do to my car? You will go to work. When you come back in the evening, I'll find a good friend. I'll be having a good conversation, giggling, laughing. Shall we go out? I'll dress up and not go anywhere. Maybe just next door. In my hot pants, a nice top. I will emotionally torture you in the house till you bring up the conversation. And when you do, I'll call your family members and we'll have a conversation.
Right.
Because this is not fair on every ground. But this is not a battle I'll fight physically. I will deal with you emotionally. You know, emotional torture is the worst part. When you've done something and the person you've done to is not saying anything and acting all nice.
So, Felicia, do you think it was right for her not to say anything? Not to have said anything?
It was good. It's good that she didn't say anything. Now the battle is for her. She has the upper hand. You know, these things, it's when you talk that you give people the leverage to give excuses. Because then immediately you speak, you give out your power. Right.
So Bruce is actually agreeing with me, with you there. Bruce, you are a man, and from a man's perspective, I'm not saying it will happen to you, God forbid. But if
God better
Yeah.
forbid.
If she gives you that silence treatment, what does it do to you?
I'm finished. I'm finished. Because now you don't know the thoughts of the lady anymore. You don't know the thoughts, you don't know the movements, you don't know what next she'll do. Because now you'll be on your guard like double. When she passes here, you would want to see, when she's even cooking, you would want to be there. Because you would have to be like double sure of whatever is going on.
And if you don't eat, you know that she'll say that goes to the other woman. That's why
you are not eating.
So you have to.
So now you can't give excuses for anything. You have to be in the house all the time around her. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Rosie, let's come to you. How would you deal with this?
Oh, the dealing, no. I think Felicia has Felicia has encompassed the dealing, but you see, I want to come into this space of why people get married, or what makes them decide that they want to get married, or how long they think they should know somebody before they want to get married. Sometimes we just look at the outward appearance. One, he's handsome, or she's handsome. Oh, he's working, he has money. Oh yes, he can take care of, you know, me, my generations. I'm born 2-3 generations, and based on that, we just get up and then we sort of like make marriage decisions on paper. But we need to, of course, we can't know anybody fully before we get married, but there needs to be a certain sense of knowledge of this person. I think that this girl he was in bed with was probably his immediate ex. And his some immediate ex that he probably thought was not cut out for the wife role. Because he too, on paper, maybe this girl was probably too much of a clubbing type, so he didn't cut it out. Or this girl was a tiwi, like as in, she probably is not working, can't get a job, can't even keep a job, but he takes his emotional, you know, so he does everything. So it's like, I have a feeling that because in 6 months, because every standard person who gets married, at least within the first 2, 3, 4, 5 months, you are still bubbling in the whole euphoria of marriage.
Yeah. He forgot he was married.
Yeah, but for you to forget you're married, which is
It's a problem.
This is not
and no, what I'm saying, forget you're married. As in, Charlie, the whole marriage thing was just a ceremony. So like, you forget self, say be married man. You are married when you're home. When you step out, you don't be married man. You understand? Because you see, there's this part of you newlyweds in the home. On your matrimonial bed, you didn't even attempt to go to town and hide it in town. You were comfortable doing it at home. And you know, so I'm just thinking that, look, this person is somebody this guy is absolutely comfortable with. Somebody he knows that can come in, can do the deal, and you know, be silent about it. Or maybe someone who is disappointed about the fact that he went to marry somebody else and wanted to give some patinge emotion, patinge something for the girl. You understand? So I feel like the real reason why she got married beginning, that it wasn't properly diagnosed. So
And
she's
said,
not married to the right person.
And she said, remember, she actually said that we didn't date for long.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They didn't date for long. They didn't give themselves. You see, and I've said this time and time again that big things do not break marriages. So it's the little things. So you need to know people. For instance, before you marry somebody, you should have seen the person get angry. You should have seen the person overly excited. You should see the person at an emotional low, where things are not going on well for them. You should see the person at an emotional high. You should see the person relate with his friends, with his family. You know, some of these things, they are very little. You should catch that vibe. And these are the vibes that make the marriage work. So issues will come. Yeah, he's cheating. Those are big issues. They will come. But underlining all those big issues, there are little things that help you deal with it. And that is the real person that you knew before you got married.
Right.
So I think that for me, basically, I think she didn't know the guy. And she added that thankfully,
she's not pregnant.
She's not pregnant. They don't have children. They've not been married for long.
So that means she's also thinking about, okay, do I need to leave
She
this?
was saying she should do emotional blackmail. Me, Rosina, you see, from where I come from, I don't have the time and the heart for emotional blackmail. I want to talk about issues, and sometimes that's also a downside, because the most effective way is to actually be quiet.
Yes.
When you are quiet and he feels like, hey, he doesn't know your next step, like she said, it gives you the upper hand. But for somebody like me, time no day. Life is short.
Right.
I don't have a child that I'm going to be worrying about what the child is going to do, not going to do. So I think that basically, I would just exit the marriage. Once there's no child, there's proof of infidelity, Because some men who don't have regard for the woman really, and for them they sleep with any Tom, Dick and Harry. For him, he can be like, Abolatro, you've seen it. This is me. Take it or leave it. You think you're emotionally blackmailing him. He is comfortable. It means that you're okay with it. You're afraid of him. You can't even mention it. They'll keep going on and on. You don't know the kind of gentleman you are dealing with. So for me personally...
Gentle? That's not a gentleman.
Sorry, you don't know the kind of man you are dealing with. Yeah. So for me, for my personal sanity, if there are no children involved, we've not been married for a long time, there's really nothing to lose. I'll go take my kukunkaka walker pass.
Right. I think I agree with both of you, but for me, the question now is, the main question is, why do you even get into a marriage if you're not sure of the kind of person that you...
Exactly.
Here's the thing that...
Especially on the men's side.
Yeah.
Because this is not the first time we're hearing about cheating. We're not saying women don't cheat, women also cheat, but the stories of men cheating are more. Yeah. So the question is, why?
So here's the thing. One thing I hear from married people with successful marriages is marriage is a decision you make. But I don't think a lot of newly married people realize that. Yeah. It doesn't come easy. Regardless of how beautiful, how good, how loving your partner is, you need to be intentional to make that decision to be in that marriage. Because she's not the only beautiful woman you will see. Even at the wedding, there will be much prettier women showing up. After the wedding, more will show up. Yeah. So before a man will decide...
You say after the wedding? At the wedding?
While
you're walking,
that's what
you
I
see nice on the side.
I was like...
Even your train.
Yeah. As a man, before you decide to get married, like before you accept or you prepare to get married, first of all, you need to make a decision. Yeah. And this is when you start to pray about it. Because it's a tough decision. I know couples that go through things that sometimes I wonder, why are you still with this woman? Especially our aunties and uncles and fathers and mothers. You see certain things straight from like their partners and you're like, this one, yeah, me, if it was me, I'm gone. But when you speak to them, some of the wisdom they pass on is, I made a decision to marry this woman. So for better, for worse, I need to stay here. And I think that is one spice that young adults of our age,
not just women, not just everybody. Women.
So this woman, that is why I was saying that, as if it was me, I won't run out of the relationship. Because even though you dated for a short while, you decided to marry this guy. And I pick a bit from what Rosie said. It shouldn't just be, I'm married because he will do this for me. Whenever I think of marriage, I'm not married, but ask myself, I want to get married because I'm ready to be married. That means for better, for worse, for me. It might not go as easy. It might not be easy for me. I don't know what to expect, right? But I should be ready for the worst. This comes with sickness. I know people who got married 2-3 years down the line. Yeah. Their partner is very sick. And now what do? Do they leave? Yeah. So if you've not made the decision to be married,
and some leave.
Yes. Yeah. That means they've not decided to marry. And marriage is a long term. Imagine having a sister or a sibling who is sick.
But I wanted to say something.
So we don't choose family, but with marriages we choose people who become family.
Yeah.
And we have to live with them like our blood relation. So I think one thing we all need to start thinking about carefully is we need to decide, and this is a deep word, we need to decide and accept to be married so that we can be able to deal with marital problems. Dealing includes leaving, divorcing, deciding to stay, and deciding to find solutions to your problem. So my decision is just not to say that when they are beating or killing you, you stay because you decided. But you should be ready for everything.
Right.
So Rosie, I think that is where I'll end my submission and
my thought has been waiting for long. You see, the very problem is that from the word go, I'm talking about 60, 70 years ago, the way women were brought up, the way men were brought up. Sometimes you may think that it's a bit, against women and all that, but men and women were conscientized. For instance, if you're a woman, you know that if you make a mistake and you get pregnant, you know you are marrying the person.
Yeah.
A man, you know, if you touch a woman and it comes public that you have touched this woman, that woman becomes your wife. Now, they teach men how to struggle, how to be responsible for their woman. In the back in the days, it wasn't about love. It was about responsibility.
Responsibility and providing and all that.
We have moved from a stage where westernization and you understand? Book and everything. So we've moved to that stage where now we are fishing. So we got to a stage where
I like that word, fishing.
Yeah. Now we got
Everybody's
to a stage
fishing.
where
Women are fishing. Men are fishing.
So now the thing is that when families used to look for, they go and dig in, look for ideal people and piece you together, and that family support was there to control how your marriage moves. No?
And even real love.
Yeah, and naturally it grows, you know, because the whole exercise, the experience and everything. Now you move to a stage where now the men are now realizing that they are men. They are the power in the house. The women are also realizing that men are becoming irresponsible.
Yeah.
So suddenly women are out there working, bringing in money. Now the women who are out there bringing in money realize that no, if me too I'm bringing in money, then this man cannot
treat me anyhow.
come and tell me what to do and what not to do. Emancipation has come. Now equal rights have come. Equal, me and you, we are the same.
Power to the woman.
Power to the people. Power to the people. You understand? So all these dynamics has made it very difficult to find a perfect suitor. So you have a situation where the man has made the decision. Without the decision, he won't marry you.
Okay.
The man has made the decision. But the question is that the tenacity to stay there in spite of, that rope is very thin.
Very, very thin.
So back then, you have a man who probably doesn't like the wife, but will never divorce the wife, and will make sure he caters for the wife, will make sure children are fed, children are catered for. What has to be done will be done. But in these days, because that family upbringing is not so enshrined, and unfortunately, once women started working, men are also working, it's nannies who are taking care of our children.
Well, yeah.
Who are bringing their children up. So with time,
culture is also.
yes, so with time, it's like the men in their mind. So we have men now who want to be men of yesterday with all the power and authority,
Right.
but they don't have that
The capacity and resilience to be the man, to be the man of yesterday,
in the marriage and be the man of the house. And we have women too who don't want to be women of yesterday, domesticated in the kitchen, who want to be power to the people, doing powerful things, doing changing the world, but at the same time they do it at the neglect of what they have to do. So that is the problem.
Wow, the conversation is getting
your
heated,
final
but
thoughts with
Steph,
me
let's
before I
take a
actually
quick
share
break.
mine
And
on this
when
particular
we
story.
come back, I will be sharing my
I
final
think
thoughts,
that,
all right? We'll be back.
See whether the man comes forth sort of like this.
Welcome back, viewers. If you're just joining us, this is Sister, and the studio is actually getting heated because the conversations are actually getting heated. And it's been interesting, but ladies, can you share your final thoughts with me before I actually share mine on this particular story?
I think that marriage is not a joke, and it's not for children. And even though it's heartbreaking, I would advise, like Felicia said, take the quiet route in the beginning and see whether the man comes forth to sort of like discuss it. What the man does after that is what determines whether you would want to stay in the marriage or not. The man can get very remorseful and never do it again. Can see your hurt and your pain and never do it again. But when you see a man that has complete disregard for how you feel and how much they've hurt you, my sister, you are lucky you don't have a child. So you can start packing your bags and leave. Because if you stay in this and you bring children into the picture and he continues in this state, I mean, you would never forgive yourself. So it depends on how for me personally, how I would advise you depends on the reaction of the man.
Okay. All right, Felicia.
All right. So I think my sister Rosie has said it all. My submission will be on people taking marriage serious. Because this trend is getting out of hand, and we get a lot of these stories. So to build or to take advantage of this lady's story to advise our viewers out there, let's be intentional about this marriage institution. Let's be ready to take responsibility of marriages. Let's make actual decisions to be married and to stay married. Let's not take advantage of people's kids, people's nieces, nephews, children. Like, let's stop it. It's not good. Like, just remember this thing: do unto others as you want others to do unto you. That will be my last word for this, because it's heartbreaking. I won't see myself going through this. Therefore, I don't see myself doing this to anybody's son.
Right. Okay, sisters, thank you so much. And I'm just praying that she is watching at this moment. And also, while she's watching, I pray her husband is also, somehow watching with her. He will definitely know that, okay, this is about him, or he will be thinking, could this be about me? And it will be a good avenue for them to have this conversation. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was really nice having you on the show. I really, really appreciate it. All right, guys. So those were, submissions and thoughts from my sisters. Now, I just want to share my final thoughts and what I feel exactly about, the both, the two stories. All right, let's talk about the first story. Threesome got wrong. Threesome ended up, with a broken marriage, and man getting married to the supposed third party of the threesome. All right. If you will recall, in the first story, the person writing the story is actually the third party. So she ended up marrying, the husband of the supposed threesome. There's a husband and there's a wife. But now, lady, I don't want to be too judgmental, but you saying that you are not sure if you love this man or you do not love this man, I have a problem with it. I have a problem with it in the sense that you knew from the beginning that you actually did not love this man. So why would you even lead him on? Why would you lead him on to marriage? Why didn't you stick to dating? Why didn't you stick to just chopping the money? I'm not saying you should, but if you had a plan, why didn't you just stick to, those flimsy sides of things? Like, just stick to dating, stick to going out, and stick to being a sugar baby. But instead, you decided to break his home, break up his marriage, and now get married to him. You telling us this at this moment that you're not sure if you're in love with him, it's very problematic. And I don't think you're very honest with yourself, which I think you should have this conversation with this man. Because going on with this marriage just means that you have a very high probability of cheating at some point. There's a very high probability. If you meet that person that makes you tick, you probably would cheat on this husband that you don't love. So I think you should, be true to yourself, be true to him, and be open to have this conversation, and maybe even go back to the wife and apologize for actually breaking her home. Because remember that when you sent this letter, you said that they approached you together as husband and wife, and they have been having this affair with you. So the wife has always been in the picture, and you deciding to push for the breakup of his marriage, that's a problem. And like they always say, karma is real. Karma will always come back. So I think you should do the right thing. Speak to him, have that conversation, and if you know there's no space of love in your heart, you should, do the right thing and go apologize to the wife, which is important. And maybe you even leaving him is also his own karma, for deceiving his wife and betraying his wife and coming back to you to get married to you. All right. And the second story of lady getting married in December, and in less than 6 months, husband is caught in bed with another woman. This is not the first time we're hearing this kind of story, but I think you should have a conversation with your husband. I'm going to agree with what the sisters said. I think you should have a conversation. In fact, yes, the sisters have already said all that. Have a conversation with your husband, and what comes out of it is what should lead you into making the next decision. If he's remorseful, you would know. You would know from his actions. But if he's making excuses and trying to hide or trying to gaslight you, gaslighting you could come up. So when that happens, you should know that this is not probably a relationship that I should be in. That's a big red flag. And I'm sure you saw a lot of red flags, but you know, everybody wants to get married at this moment. So I'm going to leave this question to you, the viewers. You can actually send the answers to sisterislive@gmail.com or send us a WhatsApp. Send the answers to WhatsApp number 0220-344-7033. Just answer the question, why are people really getting married these days if they cannot respect the sanctity of marriage? All right, so we've come to the end of the show, and I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, there's going to be more of this. So all you need to do is just subscribe, keep visiting us, and share our content. And also, you can actually send us a mail via sisterislive@gmail.com, and we will be able to read out your letter. If you want to keep a secret of who you are, we will keep you anonymous. That's no problem. So all you need to do is just send us your letter via sisterislive@gmail.com, and then we will get to read your story. Hope to see you next time on this channel. Remember to subscribe. Bye-bye.